I know I'm jumping ahead of time here because WrestleMania 41 is not until next April, right, in Las Vegas. But I want to talk about who does Cody Rhodes face at WrestleMania. I still believe that Cody Rhodes will be the WWE champion heading into next WrestleMania. Some people may not like that because they find Cody Rhodes to be boring or he's not entertaining, but he plays the babyface role very well. He's done his part as champion. I think he's been delivering as champion as well. And I think he probably hits a 365 as champion a full calendar year. The question is, though, who does he face at WrestleMania? There are 5 people that I have in mind that we're going to talk about. Before we really dive into this conversation, as always, please make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on the notifications for this channel to be updated with all pro wrestling content and to be updated when we go live every Sunday at 5 p.m. for the No Name Wrestling Podcast. We allow the viewers and subscribers to come on from time to time to engage with us, debate with us, friendly debates, might I add you, to, just have topic of conversation. Sometimes the viewers, they want to come in and talk with some of the creators, so we allow that on this platform, man. Every Sunday, 5 p.m., the No Name Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to check it out. Now, who does Cody Rhodes face at WrestleMania 41? Let's dive into the conversation. First match we got to talk about is Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. Now, this may be a match people don't want to see at WrestleMania for other reasons, but it's a very, very high possibility in my mind because The Rock's last promo in WWE on Raw, he said when he comes back, whether Cody's champion or not, he's coming after Cody Rhodes, and his story with Roman Reigns may be over, but his story with Cody has just begun. Now, there are other places you can still have this match that would make sense. Survivor Series would be great. Royal Rumble would be great. But, I just feel like at this stage, it's very hard for me to see The Rock doing any other pay-per-view unless it's WrestleMania. And I could see them pushing out Rock and Roman even further because we've already waited this long for it, man. So I think The Rock versus Cody Rhodes could be a possibility for next year's WrestleMania. Now, it makes you wonder. If Cody Rhodes and The Rock happens, then who does Randy Orton face? Well, most people are expecting that John Cena and Randy Orton could happen because this is the last time that could happen, and they've never had a one-on-one match at WrestleMania despite the great feud they've had throughout WWE history. Okay, you fill that spot in. What about Roman Reigns? Who does he face? More than likely, it'll probably be Solo Sikoa, maybe in a tribal combat match to crown who the real tribal chief is of the WWE. I could see that happening. Maybe a Seth Rollins because there is an appealing story there as well. But if we get Cody versus The Rock, I think we get Cena versus Orton and we get Roman versus Solo. Now, you can scratch that. If we don't get those matches right here and you don't get Cody versus The Rock, another person I could see Cody Rhodes facing would be Randy Orton, right? Everybody's waiting for that storyline to unfold. When's Randy going to turn heel? When's the Apex Predator going to come alive? When's the Viper going to strike his venom? You know what I mean? Like, when is it finally going to happen? It's bound to happen at some point. Cody versus Randy is bound to happen. Does it happen next year at WrestleMania? Very possible. I think it's very, very high that it does happen. Now, the big mystery question, though, is if Cody Rhodes faces Randy Orton, then who does John Cena face? Because you can't get Cena versus Orton in at WrestleMania. There's plenty of other options out there for John Cena because it's going to be his last WrestleMania. Maybe he faces a CM Punk. Maybe he faces a young talent like a Gunther or a Braun Breaker who the company is centering around as next guys within the company they're going to push for a while, Maybe it's somebody else we don't even know about yet. But if we get Cody versus Randy, more than likely we're also going to get Roman Reigns versus The Rock, which is the big money marquee match. Could be the biggest WrestleMania match of all time by far. That hasn't happened yet, but it's bound to happen at some point. Now let's scratch that. If we don't get Cody versus Rock and Cody versus Randy, Cody versus Roman Reigns is a match I don't think a lot of people are talking about much, man. I mean, the third year in a row, that's never been done before. That's history in the making. You've never seen in WWE history 2 guys main event WrestleMania 3 years in a row consecutively. We've had Rock versus Austin, but that was spaced out year after year. And we've had Roman versus Brock, but it wasn't 3 years in a row. And there's an appealing story there, too. I mean, Cody and Roman, the first time, Cody Rhodes was the ultimate underdog going up against the Bloodline. And a lot of people thought that was going to be Cody's moment. And then Roman Reigns shocked everybody when he gave us one of the most shocking wins in WWE history in the main event. And people thought Cody Rhodes was kind of cooked after that. But then he fought for a year to get back to the main event of WrestleMania again. And, Cody Rhodes would end up finishing this story, beating Roman Reigns. But now, there's different layers to this now. Roman Reigns doesn't have a bloodline there, and now he's not a heel anymore. He's also a good guy, a babyface. Cody Rhodes is now the champion. Roman is the challenger. It's more interesting now because I think it would just be a fair one-on-one match, like who's the better man between us. No bloodline, no interferences. Cody and Roman, who's the top guy, who's the better man. And to me, Cody and Roman 3, if it was to happen for the third year in a row, by far would be the most unpredictable. It would be the most unpredictable, the most 50-50 WrestleMania main event they've ever had that could go either way, because I legitimately think both guys would need that win. Cody would need that win to submit that he is the top guy and that he's now the face of the company. Roman could need that win because as he lose to Cody Rhodes for 2 years in a row and let somebody take his spot after he's been working hard to get the fans to accept him in that spot as the face of the company, it's a very interesting aspect. Now, if you scratch that, there's 2 more guys I want to talk about that could possibly face Cody Rhodes next year at WrestleMania that probably aren't highly as likely as the other 3, but one of them I want to talk about is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Ultimate babyface versus ultimate babyface, right? Cody Rhodes right now is literally the exact babyface WWE has been searching for since John Cena. They tried to make it Roman Reigns when he was the big dog. The fans booed it and rejected it even worse than Super Cena, right? Cody Rhodes, though, is the ultimate superhero good guy babyface that appeals to the kid audience, that kids can look up to and believe in, and that people who are fans of him can also look up to and believe in and inspired to be like, because his journey is so relatable and he's just such a relatable babyface. He has the look, he has the aura, everything about Cody Rhodes just screams top babyface. It was the same thing for John Cena for all those years, right? And I feel like with John Cena having his last WrestleMania next year, maybe it's the passing of the torch to Cody. Like, all right, man, you took my spot as the babyface. I'm giving it to you. Here you go. And John Cena hasn't won a singles match in 6 years, since 2018. So it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for him to put Cody over to submit him even further up to the top of the higher echelon in WWE. And for him to pass the torch, for Cody to be that top guy to take his place where Cody can do the make-a-wishes. Cody does the autograph signings. Cody's the one staying after the house shows to sign autographs and take pictures. Cody's the one doing all the media. He's the one showing up every week and doing all the pay-per-views. He's the workhorse champion, right? So I feel like, that could be a possibility that some people aren't talking about enough. Now, if you want to scratch that, there is a 5th option that I could see happening, which would be box office. Oh my gosh, especially in freaking Vegas, man. In freaking Vegas. Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk, that's big time money for WrestleMania right there. And I think the storyline is it's a layup. It's right there in front of us, if you ask me. Like, I'm not psychic, I'm not Raven Baxter, but the way I envision this happening for the future, you remember that promo they had in January leading up to this year's Royal Rumble? CM Punk, looked Cody Rhodes in the eyes and told him that, his journey has been more of a cutthroat journey and he's had to scratch and claw and fight more to get to where he's at. And, he's more, of the American dream than Cody Rhodes is. Cody Rhodes looked CM Punk in the eye and told him he did everything CM Punk talked about in the Pike Bomb and he's more CM Punk than him. Very, very cutthroat, man, and that promo was incredible. And I envision it. Punk wins the 2025 Royal Rumble, jumps over to Friday Night SmackDown, challenges Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship because he still wants to be the best in the world. He still wants to be the top guy. He wants to be the champion. And more importantly, I think he wants the respect that Cody's also getting. I feel like all the success Cody's having right now, that's what Punk has always been chasing. Chasing the WrestleMania main event and chasing the respect that the fans are giving Cody, but also, his peers and people who are backstage working with Cody's also getting. Like, when CM Punk was WWE champion, he was champion, but, he wasn't main eventing all the pay-per-views, and he wasn't, main eventing WrestleMania as champion, and, he felt like he was kind of like the second option, behind John Cena a lot. Even though Roman Reigns is still the biggest star in the company, I don't feel like Cody Rhodes is the second option. I still feel like Cody Rhodes is right up there being valued as the top guy. CM Punk never really got that treatment. I think he's always wanted that respect because he bust his ass. He worked hard, especially back then, and he was one of the best in the world among the fans because the fans respected him and the fans had wanted him. But the WWE wasn't giving, the fans what they wanted, opposed to what CM Punk, was really being valued as. It was like, Punk's valued, but he's not as valued as the fans were looking him as. Like, bro, Punk could be your top guy. He could be literally your face of the company if you just position him there. And not everybody gets the title, the face of the company, but I feel like that would be the story right there. Punk has been working so hard to get that respect and been working so hard to get that spot, and in doing so, he's got to go through Cody Rhodes to get it because Cody Rhodes is champ right now. But you know what? There's going to have to be a sacrifice made, man. Like, there's going to be some big sacrifices made for WrestleMania because you can't get all aspects. If you get CM Punk versus Cody, then we don't get Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, and that's a big match we've all been waiting for because that was going to happen this year at WrestleMania, and the storyline is just right there that we've all been waiting to sink our teeth into. If you do CM Punk versus John Cena, we don't get Randy Orton versus John Cena, and that's the last time that could ever happen, and they've never had the one-on-one match at WrestleMania. You do Cody Rhodes versus Roman, we don't get Rock versus Roman. You do Rock versus Cody, we don't get Rock versus Roman. You do Cody versus Orton, we don't get Cena versus Orton. Like, there's going to have to be a sacrifice made. One of those sacrifices is going to have to be made, and I feel like those 5 options are very good opponents for Cody Rhodes for next year's WrestleMania. But who does he face? I mean, I still personally think if I had to pick, I think it's either between Randy Orton or The Rock. I think it's one of those two. Which one of those two, I'm not really sure, but I definitely think it's one of those 2 options. If I had to pick somebody I would want him to face, I like the CM Punk scenario, if I'm being honest. I'm really into the CM Punk and Cody Rhodes match, especially the story angle and the promos they could cut. Oh, it'd be masterful. It'd be masterful. But who does Cody Rhodes face at WrestleMania? Well, maybe there's some people I didn't name that you could see him facing at WrestleMania that I didn't name. So drop it in the comments below.